According to Inc. magazine, SRT Solutions is among the 5,000 fastest growing private companies of 2011, and they are the top-rated software company in Michigan. SRT Solutions creates innovative computer software designed to help people achieve critical business objectives. Their goal is to help you use technology efficiently to build a competitive advantage for your business. For a small business, creating a software strategy means understanding how, where, and when people will use the application. Rather than create a universal application that runs on all platforms, SRT Solutions feels the best implementation presents a distinct experience tailored for each device. Kerry Colligan is Vice President of Operations and Marketing for SRT Solutions. Kerry helps the company align its staffing and other resources towards meeting the needs of existing and potential clients. Prior to joining SRT Solutions late in 2010, Kerry held senior-level marketing and operations positions with healthcare, market research, and software industry companies. He also has experience with writing internet applications and other business software. Kerry is a Michigan native who earned his bachelor's degree from the University of Michigan and a master's of business administration degree from Eastern Michigan University. So Kerry Colligan, the Vice President of Operations and Marketing for SRT Solutions, tell us more about this impressive company. What size of business typically uses your software creation expertise? How do you create apps for, or do you create apps for cell phones, tablet devices, and other similar technologies? What types of businesses are best suited to benefit from your services? And tell us about some of your recent projects at SRT Solutions.
Thanks, Russ. Thanks, everybody, for having me this morning. It's an awful lot of questions to try to answer. I didn't write them all down, but I'll do my best to touch on at least some of those points.
Or ignore them like almost everybody else does.
You know, in listening to Derek and Kathy, I was thinking to myself, there's a lot of internet security, a lot of danger out there, and I'm not going to talk about that at all, so I hope that's okay. SRT is a small software firm. We were founded in the late 90s. We have about 25 developers on staff, and we do software projects that run the gamut. We aren't specifically Microsoft. We aren't specifically Java or open source. We'll do projects in pretty much any technology. And what we try to do to differentiate ourselves is really focus on projects that have some element of complexity. Russ was referring to sort of a multi-device nature of things, and that's really what I want to focus on today. In the back of the room, there are booklets that look like this. We've put together a couple of pieces on multi-device technology and the cloud to try to help business owners understand what that environment looks like, what some of the sort of current case studies are around both of those spaces. And that's where I want to spend a little bit of time. We are working with Arbor.com. I'm sure most of you are familiar with their work. We're working with them on a lot of things that you don't get to see. We've spent about a year rebuilding and redesigning the way their back end works to make sure the site runs more efficiently, but most importantly to give folks at Arbor.com the tools to rapidly create and deploy the content that they have. Some of the things that we've done there really get into a lot of nuts and bolts with data handling and where it comes from and where we send it. And I won't bore you with all the networking details of what that means, but it's a good example of some of the complexity. As you can imagine, Arbor.com has many, many data sources and many, many advertisers. Pulling all of that together in a logical way, in an efficient way, is part of what they've charged us with doing. We're also working with a company in Adrian called Gray Institute. They are a health and fitness company. They make physical therapy videos. And one of the things we're working on with them is to create an e-commerce website to basically create a new line of revenue for them. They have about 6,000 videos that they are trying to distribute to fitness professionals.
Don't tell Derek, because he may just go out and buy them right away.
Well, that would be fantastic, Derek. It's grayinstitute.com. So we've worked with them to build this application. It's been about a 3-month process, and they're using a technology called Flex, which is a new thing that some people may have heard of. What it does is it allows companies to deploy content to both a desktop environment, a desktop web environment, and a phone without rewriting a lot of code. So it's an efficient way to move in that direction. The project has been, so far, by all accounts, a big success. They're taking monthly subscriptions now, and as I said, they've created a new line of revenue, so that's very good to hear and good to see happen, and we're moving them from their current web platform and starting to talk a little bit about the mobile. A third project, again, a southeastern Michigan company, Xanadu is a publishing company. They make course packs for college students. They're moving into the digital realm, and what they've got is an iPhone app that allows students to read course packs, obviously on their phone or on a tablet. I saw Derek has one. We are working with them to move that into a multi-device space. What that means is they've got the mobile app. We're creating a web app, a companion app for them that will have different functions and features than the web version. The reason is somewhat obvious, and that is that some of the capabilities on the phone obviously don't exist on the desktop. Screen real estate is different, bandwidth is different, your processing power is different, so you want to handle those in a different way. And so what we're doing is designing that desktop version to be a little bit different, to have more features. For example, you can see side-by-side pages, you can pull up the bibliography and reference things there, you can highlight and take notes and those kinds of things. So it's much more, I guess, robust. That multi-device nature is really what the booklet at the back focuses on. It's really the concept that as you look at different devices, whether it's a laptop, a phone, or a tablet, you're going to have different considerations, and you're going to want to make sure that you're thinking about how those play out for your users. People assume that regardless of the device you're using, that their data is going to follow them, and that the experience is going to follow appropriately so that they can really engage with you in the most appropriate way with the device that happens to be in their hand at the time. So I'd encourage you to pick up a book and take a look at what we have to say there. And there's another piece back there on cloud computing as well. Feel free to browse through that if that's of interest. Thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you, Kerry.
Thanks, Russ.
Terrific.